Hello, and welcome to the second in the series of presentations on writing techniques and strategies. In the first video, you were introduced to writing techniques in general, and to the process of developing an effective topic sentence and supporting paragraph. As you have seen, there are various styles and strategies you can use to create the desired emphasis, tone, and effect in your writing, whether your assignment is a simple paragraph, report, essay, or other form of correspondence. Here we will present an overview of the development strategies you will be using in your writing workshops. Then we will take a more detailed look at two of those strategies, narration and description. Now, you may think that all this discussion about strategies using description or analogy, comparison and contrast, example and reason, etc., is a foreign concept, and that you'll never use this information in real life. It might surprise you to know that you already use those so-called strategies in your everyday conversations with friends, family, your colleagues at work, and in the college. Choosing how you tell someone something is natural. If you have some bad news to tell someone, you automatically think about how that person will react. And consequently, you automatically choose how you will tell them. You subconsciously plan your strategy. In your class, your instructor will have already told you about the importance of determining the purpose and the audience for your writing. However, in order to put the following discussion on development strategies into perspective, let's review those concepts. How you choose to develop your topic will depend on your purpose for writing and the audience for whom you're writing. Both of these factors are quite interconnected, as you will see. First, the purpose. Why are you writing? There are three main reasons for writing. Before we go any further, your purpose is not to please the professor, get a good mark, and get your credit for English. The three real reasons for writing are to inform, to entertain, and to persuade, or any combination of the three. You may have a single purpose. For example, you may simply want to inform a reader about a nice place you've been on vacation. On the other hand, you may wish to persuade the reader that it is the ideal spot for a vacation. Your purpose should determine the development strategy or strategies you choose to use. Equally, the effectiveness of the writing strategy will play a big part in the success or failure of your achieving your purpose. The second major factor in deciding how to develop your piece of writing is the audience. Yes, your professor is your audience right now. However, try to think of him or her as a larger audience, an adult, well-educated audience. Your instructor may also limit from time to time or qualify your audience for certain assignments. For example, you may be asked to write about a topic such as pollution, using the cause and effect strategy. And your instructor may specify that your audience be the general public, environmentalists, or car manufacturers. Your purpose will play a part in how you choose to proceed with your writing. Do you want to inform the public about the problem? Do you want them to persuade them to do something about it? Do you want to convince the car manufacturers that this problem exists and that they should be part of the solution? It's important to determine the purpose. However, you also have to take into consideration how your audience will react to what you have to say. Will the audience be informed or not informed about the subject? Receptive or hostile towards your ideas? To review, before you choose which development strategy or strategies to use for your writing, you must consider these two interconnected factors, the purpose and the audience. Before you start planning, ask yourself a few questions. Why am I writing? What is the purpose? What do I want to achieve? To inform, to entertain, to persuade, or a combination? Who is my audience? What does the reader already know about the subject? How will the reader react to what I want to say? Will he or she agree or disagree with my point of view? What does the audience need to know, and what do I want them to know? What do I want my reader to do? What reaction do I want? Once you have chosen and limited your topic and determined your purpose and audience, you have to choose the strategy to develop your topic. In a single paragraph, a writer usually only uses one strategy or pattern. In an essay, however, the writer may use a combination of patterns or strategies that suit the purpose and the audience. Let's take a look at the previous example again, the writing assignment on pollution using the cause and effect strategy. Let's say your audience is the general public, and your purpose is to inform and persuade. In order to make effective use of the cause and effect strategy, you are also going to have to employ examples, reasons, perhaps an analogy or description that will paint a verbal picture for your audience. You want the audience to relate to what you're saying. That connection that you have allowed your audience to make with what you are saying will hopefully encourage your audience to want to do something about the situation. And that will fulfill your purpose of informing and persuading the reader to act. There will always be one dominant style or pattern in a piece of writing. The other patterns used support the main strategy. Your topic sentence, as you've already seen, sets the tone and direction. It usually also indicates the main strategy. Let's take a look at some examples of topic sentences. I remember the first time I ever saw her. This could lead to a narration and tell us a story of how they met, perhaps, or it could lead to a description of how she looked. Sometimes I think my teacher can read minds. With this, we are left anticipating an example of how the teacher does this mind-reading trick. There are 3 reasons for writing: to inform, to entertain, to persuade. This indicates classification. The author is going to explain the sentence and break it down into its parts. The term communication has different connotations for different people. We know that the author is going to give us a definition, one that will limit the term as it is being used within the context of the piece of writing. Although we are twins, my attitudes are not at all like my sister's. This statement tells us that a comparison and contrast follows. Being a new student on registration day is like being a mouse in a maze. The author uses the analogy to catch the reader's attention, to paint a picture the reader can see and relate to. And then he or she explains the topic or situation using that same point of reference, the analogy. Coupons help you save money on your grocery bill if you remember to take them with you when you go shopping. Cause and effect will be the main strategy here. Cooking is easy, but first you have to learn to follow instructions. The author is about to tell us how to do something, how to follow a process.